Warning, the podcast you're about to hear has a unique conservative perspective and may be politically incorrect, containing some controversy in its message. This episode may speak out against liberalism, socialism, the dark state, and religious organizations. It is possible that evil in politics, education, law, society, and religion will be discussed and exposed. However, we believe this podcast adds truth and value to a mature, disenfranchised audience who may be tired of apostate religions and wicked world systems. Listeners who are easily offended, overly sensitive, or have progressive leanings sympathetic to the topics we expose should be forewarned not to listen any further. We thank both those who choose to listen as well as those who choose not to listen. You've been warned. And now, let us get on with the show.
Mr. Powell, you there?
I'm here.
Why?
Well, because it's Freedom Friday.
Oh, what date is it?
Today's date is July 27th, 2018.
Oh, it's a good day. Here's the deal. The other day, Ms. KAPOW was reading the headlines, the news, and she told me, she goes, it's like Alice in Wonderland on Flakka.
I did say that, didn't I?
You did. And I said, that's a great title for a show because it's exactly what it is. It's like Alice in Wonderland on Flakka. That's how crazy it is.
It is crazy. Oh, my goodness.
Once again, we live in a satanic cult. It's the satanic world, totally demonic takeover all around us. People are snapping just in our little town, our little city. I mean, we've got a small city here. Oh, and it just got safest place in Nevada.
Yep.
Crime-wise. We just got that award like last week. Safest place to live in Nevada is Mesquite. Don't come here, please. Don't try to, please. And then in the last 2 weeks, we've had 2 barricaded suspects. The SWAT had to come out, and last night some guy was shooting at the police.
I know.
And this
so
is
much for safe.
Yeah, this is a safe little quiet town, and it's just they're falling. They're just snapping. Amazing. So we're going to talk about some of these people that are behaving like they're on Flakka, but it's really they're just on demons, Flakka demons. On the first part, we'll have like 3 stories. Then the second part, we're going to talk about some of these earth changes that are going on. And we don't watch, cable news or regular news or anything like that. I'm sure there's probably some of this stuff that they're reporting, at least on the weather portions. But on YouTube, there's a particular gentleman I really like. It's called Into Thin Air, INTO, the letter 2, Thin Air. And he's like what a weatherman should be. He's like what a meteorologist should be. And every day he puts out 1, maybe 2 videos on what's going on in the nation weather-wise. Explains a lot of things. Boy, it's amazing. There is... the East Coast is underwater right now in so many areas. There's tornadoes touching down in areas. And then on the Southwest is a heat wave. And in fact, there was a little waitress we were talking to just the other day from Mesquite, Nevada. She just got back from vacation in California and took her kids to Knott's Berry Farm in Anaheim. And you got to remember, Anaheim on the hottest day in the summer, maybe in the 80s, where we lived in Riverside County, it was hotter, maybe it'd get up to 103, 104. But anyway, she just got back from vacation there and they went to Knott's Berry Farm and it was 113.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That'd be like it's 140 here or something. That's just insane. It was so hot. Her kids said, "Mom, we can't even do the rides. We got to get out of here." So the Southwest is sweltering. We're feeling it here, but it's always hot here in the summer. So it's not like, oh, it's hot. It's always hot in the summer, and which it's summer all the time. So it's always hot. And But there's a lot of Earth stuff going on. Another channel we watch on YouTube is Signs. No. What's it called?
Sign of the Times.
Signs of the Times. Okay. And he puts something out almost, every other day, which is crazy, really, if you think about it. Because he's doing 10 to 15-minute videos on all this catastrophe, floods, tornadoes, winds, globally, hail, weird stuff going on globally. And it used to be stuff you'd watch maybe once a month, You'd see these earth changes once a month, maybe every 6 months. This stuff he's putting out almost every other day within a 24-hour period. The earth is really, really groaning, folks.
Oh, definitely.
People are snapping. It's going crazy. The whole thing is collapsing. It's like, Peter says that the elementals themselves will melt. There's a lot of weird things going on. It's a weird time to be living in. And I don't really know what to tell you guys. I mean, you guys are surviving and occupying and doing what you're doing. But it's almost, for me, I just feel like, a lot of ways, just like hunkering down, hiding, closing the door and hiding out till it's over. Because we have to be right at the precipice. It's just.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that we're not.
Yeah. And then, of course, I'm not even talking about the politics and, global leaders and the wars and all the stuff we don't even know about, artificial intelligence and these algorithms. And boy, it's something else. It's a weird time. 2018 really got crazy fast. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about 2 or 3 stories of humans that extreme demonic behavior that still every Friday I read stuff like this and go, it boggles my mind. And then we'll do 3 or 4 stories on the earth changes. And it's all Alice in Wonderland and Flakka. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, Ms. KAPOW, I know you got a scripture from the Word of the Lord.
Yeah,
and then we'll go from there.
It's Ecclesiastes.
Say that real fast 3 times.
Ecclesiastes. Chapter 9, starting with verse 2. You know how I jump around.
Jump, Miss KAPOW, jump.
All things come alike to all. There is one event to the righteous and to the wicked, to the good and to the clean, and to the unclean, to him that sacrifices and to him that sacrifices not. As is the good, so is the sinner, and he that swears as he that fears an oath. This is an evil among all things that are done under the sun, that there is one event unto all. Yea, also the heart of the sons of men is full of evil, and madness is in their heart, while they live, and after that they go to the dead. For to him that is joined to all the living there is hope, for a living dog is better than a dead lion. For the living know that they shall die, but the dead know not anything, neither have they any more a reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare. So are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them.
Man.
Good news.
I'm going to start calling you Miss Happy. Miss Happy. Miss KAPOW, the prophetess, is happy. Well, I'm happy, Miss KAPOW. You know why? Because I got a new coffee pot.
Oh, yeah, you did.
And on this coffee pot.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Instead of a glass carafe, I got a stainless steel one. So what happens is it makes the coffee pours into this stainless steel thermos, so to speak, type of thing. Then you seal it up, and the coffee remains hot as it seals up. Well, here's what's cool. This is what's making me happy, is I then can take that with me wherever I goeth. So right now, I'm here doing the show, and I'm pouring me some nice hot coffee. constantly streaming into my cup. Come on.
Come on. It don't get any better than that.
It's the end of the world. People are on Flakka, demonic Flakka, and I got hot coffee. Really. So that's about where we're at. Okay, Mr. Powell, let's get going here. First story is a good demonic Flakka story here. There's not much detail, but it's a man accused of killing a 101-year-old neighbor. Now, isn't that a shame? You make it. You've lived this hard, miserable prison planet for 101 years, only to be murdered by some dummy next door.
Yeah.
That's just not right.
No. Mm-mm.
Wow. 101 years old. I mean, you're like...
Ancient.
You're like a relic, man. You're antique. I mean, you survived. I mean, there's a lot of stuff this person went through and knew to be that old, only to die by the hands of some
idiot,
some Ellis on Flakka. So this is in New York. This guy's accused of killing a 101-year-old neighbor. He didn't just like kill her. He stabbed her to death. Stabbed her in the neck and the chest. I mean, yeah. And I don't know why he's accused of second-degree murder rather than first-degree, but, I'm not an attorney. But anyway, police and firefighters found this gal dead after there was a transportation company that had gone to pick her up, and she didn't answer the door. Called the police. They found her stabbed multiple times in the neck, throat, and upper body.
That poor lady.
Yeah. They didn't have a motive of why he did it. Also, in an unrelated case, the same guy is charged with endangering the welfare of a child, that he offered a 13-year-old girl money to come to his apartment. This is an evil, demonic guy on Flakka. No picture of him. We don't know how this clown looks. This guy, there's a picture of him, and I just cannot stand looking at him. Because he's like, just the picture itself is one of those whiny liars.
Yeah.
You could tell he's one of those. He lies, and he's a whiner, and he justifies and rationalizes everything. He's like that Scott Peterson guy.
Yeah,
that killed his wife in the 90s, Lacey Peterson. He's like that. I can't even that kind of face and personality. Just so here's the deal: it's a man killed unborn child by beating his pregnant ex. And then he tells a friend, well, he actually documents it over Facebook. He says, I didn't want to hurt her, just the baby.
Oh, okay. That makes it better.
How evil can you get? You know what I mean? I didn't want to hurt my girlfriend, just the baby she was carrying. Alabama man, he attacked his pregnant ex-girlfriend. He killed their unborn child with the attack. He says, he told a friend afterward via Facebook, so he documented it, right? I didn't want to hurt her, just the baby.
Wow.
This guy's named Christopher Ammons. He's 31 years old, and he never denied the assault. His attorney says, his defense attorney says, he is responsible for his conduct that day that injured Jackson and the pair's unborn child, right? So, all good. You say, okay, he's confessed to it. He's responsible. Be done. But, no.
Oh, no,
However,
no.
His attorney argued that his client did not plan what happened and should be found guilty of a lesser charge, such as manslaughter, rather than murder, which is a capital punishment in Alabama. Mm-hmm. So the dude himself testified that he did not recall his exact actions because he blacked out. You know why? Because he had a drug-induced psychotic episode.
Wow.
He just panicked.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's everybody else's fault.
Mm-hmm.
He's charged with domestic violence, capital murder stemming from the altercation at the residence. Let's see. The girlfriend suffered serious injuries. Of course, the baby ended up dying.
Oh,
was pronounced at the hospital. She was 7 months pregnant, by the way.
Ouch.
The couple had met in middle school, so she didn't have much common sense. Because you could just take a look at his picture and tell he's just a whiny, weak, milquetoast liar. I mean, you just see it in him.
Yeah.
They met in middle school, and I guess they separated, and he remarried, and anyway, they hooked up later on. And after she divorced, this guy came with a daughter from another relationship, and he moved into her home. So what does that tell you?
Yeah.
The dude moves into her house, and throughout the year, he kept getting kicked out, and he fired a gun outside the home, and then when she kicked him out because he wanted sex and she wouldn't give it to him, and so he went out and cut off the electricity. And so he's just a punk, right?
Yeah, he is nasty.
So the night of the attack, he was popping Xanax, like candy, right? So he goes to this gal's house. She's in the garage, and he just beats the heck out of her. He strangles her, beats the heck out of her, and then he leaves her bleeding in the garage. And so he said that he tried to call for help on his girlfriend's phone after he beat her half to death. But he was frustrated by the locking device, and so he threw the phone and broke it.
Wow.
Of course, the prosecutors say that it was an attempt for him to keep her from calling for help. But he's saying, no, I tried to call for help, but I got frustrated. See what I mean? It's like a lie. Mm-hmm. And then he left the scene. Hours later, he was arrested. And when he was arrested, you know what he told the police? Hey, I was just on my way to turn myself in. It's a good thing you guys caught me because I lost, I didn't know if it was the police station was the right or the left. I was just on my way. Just a liar.
Liar.
So he had, in between that, on his way to turn himself in, he had messaged a friend on Facebook saying, I didn't want to hurt her, just the baby. Right? Now, his attorney says, that's not exactly what happened. Now, you got to understand, the Facebook message was sent while my client was scared and intoxicated on pills.
Poor baby.
After he learned how significantly Jackson had been injured, he was just upset. And here's what he said. Here's what this guy then said. I meant to type or the baby, not just the baby.
Oh, my.
I did not have sex with this woman, Monica Lewinsky. You know what I mean? So your leaders are liars. Mm-hmm. And there you go. There you go. Is that annoying or what? Mr. KAPOW, I'm annoyed.
Well, yeah, certainly. But this man could face the death penalty if convicted of his capital murder charge. So we can only hope.
Yeah. It's amazing that this girl's 7 months pregnant. He beats her, the baby dies, and he's facing a murder charge with capital punishment, right? Mm-hmm. But yet, if the baby's under a certain age in the belly, you could just abort it.
I know. It doesn't make sense.
Weird, huh? Mm-hmm. Laws be weird, right?
This is a really crazy world. Doesn't make sense.
It's like Mr. KAPOW said, right?
Yep.
Alice in Wonderland.
On Flakka.
Okay. From the Daily Caller. This one's bizarre. It's in Peru. Peru. 3 siblings, right? 3 women. They're not little kids, by the way. These siblings are 38, 41, and 46 years old. They're grown women.
Yes.
Yeah, grown women. You know what they did? They gouged out their mother's eyes. They disemboweled her. And then, well, after you do that to your mom, you bathe in her blood.
Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah. They bathed in her blood, and they did it as a sacrifice to Satan in return for healing. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, that's sick.
That's pretty. The police found the body of 75-year-old Theodora Cuspi. Oh, this name. Did you see this name?
Yeah, I did.
Kakayahua.
Yeah, I'm not going to attempt it.
Kakalahua. That's just fun to say.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's dead. She's 75 years old. She was. She's found dead in her home. She was missing her head and her intestines.
Dear God.
They
Fuchi.
Yeah. The Popo, they're in Peru. They're called Peru Popo. They arrested the 3 daughters. And the youngest of the daughters, 38-year-old one, declared to the Popo that they had been ordered to kill their mother by the master of darkness.
Who might that be?
Yep. The master of darkness ordered me. The king of demons is already with us. We are more, and every day we will become bigger, she said.
From her lips to our ears.
Yep. Wow. The king of demons is already with us. We are more, and every day we become bigger. So
Ain't that the truth?
that's the truth. You know, the demon wasn't lying. That's absolutely, because, you know, you don't do something like this to any human being, let alone your mother, without being
Demon possessed.
Totally demon possessed. So anyway, these three women conspired to kill their mother on Sunday. They gouged out her eyes. They decapitated her. They used a knife to cut out some of her internal organs, including her intestines. They disposed of their mother's internal organs in a nearby pond. And then they bathed in her blood to invoke the devil.
Wow. Nasty.
This is their mom, by the way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it would be bad enough if it was a stranger.
Yeah.
But their own mother.
Wow. One of the women told authorities, allegedly said, that she had been instructed to sacrifice a loved one to Satan. Now, how much have we heard that? We've heard that a lot with these celebrities. In order to get to a certain place or continue on with success, that you have to give up a loved one.
Yeah.
And it is interesting how many musicians and actresses and actors and celebrities
lose someone very close to them.
Yeah, they've lost somebody very close to them. It's quite amazing. Yeah. So anyway, it is a common theme, and these people actually did it. Said that was the deal. Instructed to sacrifice a loved one to Satan as part of a healing ritual in a strange dream, in which I heard I had been chosen. Then a small frog appeared at my door. Oh my goodness! So she had a strange dream. Was told she's chosen. Was told to sacrifice a loved one to Satan to be healed, and then in her dream there was a small frog. So
Yeah.
instead of waking up going, "Yeah, no way, I had too many tacos that night."
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. That is something, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, locals in the village claim satanic groups have been gaining followers in the rural areas of the Santa Cruz province. And they often urge their practitioners to perform dark and harmful rituals.
Yep. There you have it.
By the way, the police did recover Theodora's eyes and her internal organs.
And why?
Well, they recovered. They found them somewhere. And they sent those along with her body for an official autopsy. And they did charge the three siblings with homicide. And if they are convicted...
Which I hope they will be.
Yeah. If they are convicted, it carries a potential sentence of life in prison. So obviously they don't believe in killing people over there. Only if you're being possessed, they believe in killing people. So that's pretty bizarre. And I know it happened in Peru, and it's easy to say, well, it happened in another country. But folks, come on.
It's here too.
Oh, yeah. You know, there's the Santeria and all this stuff.
It's global.
Oh, yeah. The worship of, the
master of darkness.
Death cult. Yeah. It's everywhere, and it's mixed in with the drugs and the cartels. And yeah. Yep. Okay, let's switch horses here. And now we're going to talk about some of these earth things going on in the planet, these catastrophes that are...
A lot of crazy things happening.
Crazy. But before we do that, let's take a commercial break. All right, just a commercial break, and then we'll be right back.
Demons in My Marriage Bed, a true story of spiritual warfare, changed the way my spouse and I conduct spiritual battle and has increased our alertness level to the tactics of Satan. This is an excellent training manual for building a stronger marriage by exposing the tactics your enemies use against you from all online digital retailers. God bless you all.
Hey, now more than ever, Demons in My Marriage Bed, timely book to read.
Definitely.
Now more than ever, if you want to know how
I'm going to read it again.
Yeah. You want to know how they operate and what they do and what to do about it. Or there's a lot of weird stuff going on globally with the weather and things like that. We're just going to touch on a few things. Most of you probably have heard about that fire in Greece that killed at least 80 people.
It's very sad.
A lot of people still missing. They actually called it the Armageddon fire. This was
It's a good name for it.
Yeah. I mean, it was like Armageddon there. It was horrible. This happened in Greece, in Athens. It ripped through a Greek coastal town, and dozens of people are still accounted for. People were burnt alive in this thing.
Yeah. People suffocated from the smoke. And
yeah, they said they were trapped in an eastern resort town. Many jumped into the sea to survive. Others died from, like you said, suffocation in the cars, or they were trapped on steep cliffs.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah. Dozens of calls reporting missing persons too. So it just swept this. It was like crazy. They said it wasn't like anything they could, they've seen before. Yeah.
There's like 80 people died.
Mm-hmm. This one person who was staying there said it was a really terrible situation. Said we ran away from the hotel, we ran to the beach, then along the beach, and then we were caught by fire. They were surrounded by fire, and they had to go into the water. They stayed in the water several hours. Now, here's what's weird. It's still unclear what caused the fire, which spread very rapidly. They just don't know. Apparently, it's a maze of narrow streets there. There's dense forest. There was some winds, thick pine.
Yeah, some lady said that her house went up in flames in 2 minutes.
That's a major, major deal. It's just, fire's fire. But, when you really don't know what started it, where it came from, and it's so intense, and you give it a name like the Armageddon fire. Wow.
Yeah, some bishop at this church said it was the wrath of God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think he got in trouble for that.
Yeah, he did. So now some of the other churches are trying to distance themselves from that.
Well,
and
Mark's like, yeah. So it's just a bizarre thing. Once again, it happened in another country in Greece, but, there's wildfires in California. There's, along with all this weird stuff in the East Coast with these floods, unprecedented floods. There's also heat waves going on that are breaking all records. Historic records.
Yeah.
Never been that hot before. At the same time, there's fires happening everywhere, and a lot of things going on. So we're just touching on a few things.
Yeah.
Here's one. This happened in Rushka, and I'm telling you, Trump did not have anything to do with this. Now I know he's going to get blamed.
He gets blamed for everything.
Yeah, he does get blamed for everything. Now him and Putin are going to get blamed for doing this, but I'm telling you, Trump didn't have anything to do with it. I know he didn't. I just know he didn't. Huh?
Because he was here.
I'm not supposed to tell people.
Oh, sorry.
Because this is his safe house. He likes my coffee. He calls it cafefe.
Cafefe, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. He says, Brother KAPOW, make me some cafefe. This is, it's called End of Days. It's a mystery. It's a mystery, folks, as the sky turns black. When it turned black, I'm not talking like gray or like it's hard to see or smoky or dim. It was black. They had to turn on the lights
No
to
light
see.
at all.
It was black. Wow. Mm-hmm. And this was in the middle of the day. This happened in a remote Russian town. Now, the locals or blaming secret weapons, like a secret weapon test. They even said it might be aliens or the devil himself. Who knows? Mm-hmm. Who knows? But this particular area is pretty big. They say it's bigger than the British Isles. And the whole area is just plunged into darkness. For several hours. Not just for like a couple of minutes. For hours. Yeah. So they didn't know if it was a meteorite, apocalyptic weapon test, or whatever. There's some pictures here, too. On our Facebook page, Fifth Hook Media. And you can see it's dark. Mm-hmm. It's would be quite eerie to experience this. But it's a mystery. It surrounds the sudden appearance of a massive black cloud that turned day into night across a bigger area than the British Isles. A sudden appearance of a massive black cloud. It just blocked out the sun.
Yeah.
Anyway, so a lot of people are claiming that it was terrifying. Could have been caused by dust from a meteorite strike or the test of an apocalyptic weapon. See, they don't trust their government either over there.
But you know what I thought was eerie is when they said that it was so dark, it felt like there was a heaviness on their chest.
Yeah, you're right. That's like an eerie thing to say.
Yeah. So they actually felt the darkness.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that it in your chest. They were afraid to go outside. Mm-hmm. Yeah. In fact, one person, they wanted to go out and take some pictures, but because of the heaviness. Yeah. And there's some pictures. I mean, there's cars with headlights on. I mean, it's like black, you know?
Yeah. And they do attribute it to the devil's work, so.
Yeah. So anyway, very, very strange thing to have happened. And this really happened. This ain't phony news. It really did happen. And you can see it for yourself. And they don't know why or what it was. That's what's very scared. So they said it was the sun literally was gone. It just disappeared between 11:30 until 2.
Yeah.
On July 20th.
2.5 hours.
Just gone. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? Okay. Here's what's coming up today, Friday. This is from the Irish News. The Irish News. They look at the Irish. They say blood moon on its way with god of war in tow. What? What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Well, you just have to be very afraid.
Be very afraid. There's a blood moon's coming, and it's accompanied by Mars, the god of war, shining more fiercely than it has for years. Not 6 years, just for years. It's the longest total lunar eclipse of the 21st century, folks. It's happening.
Expected today.
Today, July 27th. It lines up with the Earth and the Sun. The rising full moon will darken and then change from silver to rusty, or the dreadful blood red. It said that this phenomena struck terror in our ancestors. It's still seen as a portent of doom in some parts of the world today. I would have to agree.
Yep.
I would have to agree. I don't think we should look at this thing today that's happening and go, well, it's just another, eclipse. It's just natural. I think it's bad.
Yep.
I think it's bad. The fiery Mars will add to the spectacle as it appears directly below the blood moon at close to its maximum brightness. Weird, man. Let's see. The last time that the red planet was bigger and brighter than this was in 2003. Sky watchers could get a glorious view of Jupiter in the south at the same time, if you want to. You might even see the International Space Station cruising by. Wave at those guys as they go by.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah. So it's going to be eerie looking, a deep red moon rising. So anyway, be terrified, be very terrified. The world is rocking. It's shaking, Miss KAPOW.
It's shaking.
Everything that's seen, that's made, is shaken. And why? Because that which is real, which is unseen, which is God, is the only thing that will remain. It's a shifting and a sifting. Right? Just like Jesus said to Peter, the devil wishes to sift you as wheat.
Yep.
Not corn, wheat.
But I've prayed for you that your faith will not fail.
Yes. And when you return, strengthen the brethren. So it's a sifting, okay? It's a sifting so that everything that's chaff, that's not real, is falling. So there's some weird stuff that you really may be experiencing. In fact, I think you will experience it if you haven't already experienced it. Being a believer in Christ, you're going to experience some very strange things. That your eyes are going to tell you one thing, but your faith is going to have to be strong and say, no, by faith, I don't believe my lying eyes. Seriously, Okay, here's one last weird story. Okay, I have no idea why these people typed in dog, so many times in Google Translate. I don't know why. I don't know what they were trying to do. So the act is kind of moronish, or at least the story's kind of weird. But this is what happened. Google Translate warns of an apocalypse with bizarre end times message about the Antichrist. And it left some of these people very, very worried. Now, but here's how they got to this. This is very strange. The language translation app is telling users that now this is in quotes, we're approaching the end times, and no one's quite sure why. The doomsday clock, I think what it says, the doomsday clock is 3 minutes at 12. We're experiencing characters and a dramatic developments in the world. I think this is in quote. This is verbatim, which indicate that we are increasingly approaching the end times and Jesus' return. Yeah. So here's what they did. They typed the word dog, I don't know why, into Google Translate, translating from Yoruba, which is a West African language, which I speak frequently, by the way.
Sure.
They typed in the word dog, translating from Yoruba to English. And if you type the dog in 22 times, right? Mm-hmm. If you type it in once, it spits out the exact same word, dog. So that's good to know. So if you're ever speaking with somebody who speaks Yoruba, like myself, the West African language, and you say dog, I'll know exactly what you're talking about. Because dog to me is dog to you. Mm-hmm. They're just fur babies. You got to love them, right? But if you type dog 22 times in a row, I don't know why you would do that. I don't know who has the time to sit there and screw around with Google Translate, but they
Obviously,
do.
there are some.
If you type in dog 22 times in a row and a sinister message appears instead, and this is what it begins with this. Doomsday clock is 3 minutes at 12. And then it goes on. It says, we are experiencing characters and a dramatic developments in the world, which indicate that we are increasingly approaching the end times and Jesus' return. Sounds like a computer. The bizarre message was first discovered by users on Reddit, several of whom described it as creepy. But it even gets more sinister if you reduce the number of times you type dog. Yeah. Instead of talking about the return of Jesus, Google Translate instead delivers a message about how the Antichrist will soon appear.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So the message originally worked on Hawaiian to English translation too, but it seems to now have been fixed. What does it all mean? So then it goes on, talks about the doomsday clock. I'm sure most of you are aware of that, how, they've been doing that since 1947, pushing it forward and backwards, blah, 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 depending on where we're at with our nuclear stuff. Right now in 2018, we're 2 minutes to midnight, by the way. Last year, we were 2.5 minutes. The year 15, we were 3 minutes. 12, we were 5 minutes. 10, we were 6 minutes. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the scientists, the nuclear scientist stuff, think we're pretty damn close. Because I don't think it's ever been 2 minutes before.
No.
In 1953, it was. I'm sorry. 1953 was 2 minutes. It's been 3 minutes a couple times. And most of the time, it's been 10, 12, sometimes 17 minutes. 91, it was 17 minutes. Most of the time, it hovers around, 5, 6. But now we're at 2. So they think, this is the threat of nuclear holocaust.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Anyway, so this article, if you want to read that, it talks more about the doomsday clock and all that stuff. All right. That talks a little bit about the book of Revelation and the apocalypse and all this stuff. But anyway, some people have a lot of time on their hands. Typed in dog into Google Translate from one language to another, and they typed it and they get this weird message. And So who knows? You know, who knows why I did that? But it is strange that happened. Who knows why? All I know is that Fifth Hook Media and the KAPOW radio show are now ready to sign off.
Ciao, babies.
Good night.
Shall punish the whole